that's just it.
If you're looking for a career in home care, call Medicare LLC. We have the top pay, PTO, holiday pay, medical, dental, 401k. Call now. That's 215-644-8341.
So some upsetting news probably to you, but we'll get into that. But outside of that, how you been doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing this morning, Tawfiq? You good?
I'm all right, a little all right,
But I want to know what this upsetting news is, or some good. I need to get right to that. I don't want to prolong that any further.
All right, well, the Cowboys has reached a deal to get Steelers wide receiver Pickens. They just got Pickens. I don't know if the Eagles going to be too happy about that. So the Pittsburgh Steelers agreed to trade, Pickens to the Cowboys. The details of the trade hasn't been updated. So it says they're going to update that soon. But just to know about that, Pickens being traded to the Cowboys, NFC East, Eagles, Commanders, Giants. This division kind of got a little better. I mean, a lot better. It's very competitive in that division. But does this change the outcome of the Eagles being number one, opposed to the Cowboys getting Pickens over there with that stud receiver they got?
I have two mindsets of opinion. Can I give you both of them?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Okay, now, which one do you want first? The fanatic fan of Philadelphia opinion, or do you want the commentator in watching the football and knowing, like, just to not be biased, just call it how it is?
Well, it's your decision. I'm just sitting here.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the commentator and the biased one, the one that's studying a little bit of football, and everybody have their own opinions, but I have mine. That was an excellent move on the Cowboys' part.
Okay.
It was extraordinary. Pickett being the leader that he was in Pittsburgh, you already know he's dynamic. Mm-hmm. He run routes with precision. He's catching bombs over 2-3 people. And then you pair him with CeeDee Lamb. Do I need to say any more?
Yeah.
Then you pair him with CeeDee Lamb. Now, still, you need some assets to work in your favor for it to flourish correctly, which is the offensive line and your quarterback play. That to me is a great quarterback.
Okay.
The Cowboys' offensive line currently, they're not bad, but they're not the Cowboys of old, my opinion. But, one or two moves, to plug in a couple spots, a couple dudes staying, I have to look at the overall offensive line. But that could be a nightmare. A nightmare. That could possibly be a nightmare that the Dallas Cowboys are presenting on the field to opposing defenses. Okay. With that being said, to further think along it, I think about the attitudes of these two wide receivers, right? We got CeeDee Lamb and we got George Pickens. Mm-hmm. And I seen Pickett act up a couple times. Have you?
Yeah.
I'm talking about more than a few. Like, to say that he can, all wide receivers is prima donnas and they get out there. Pickett is cutting up on the field, but when I say cutting up, this is on the field, he's not doing nothing all. He's emotional. He's into the game and he wants the ball and he's out there fighting defenders and he's doing some things. Lamb, how would you say Lamb attitude toward the sport is? You think he's fiery and he's a prima donna kind of too?
No, I think Lamb is a baller. I think he comes out and plays. I can't.
You can't recall him acting like Pickett?
No,
because I have seen different instances of Pickett being like disgruntled out there on that field. So what I'm saying is, now you have basically two number one receivers on the same team, right?
Yes.
This is what I think, from my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. This is just my opinion. I think that Pickett is he was down there, the number one receiver for Pittsburgh, and Lamb is the number one receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Now you pair both of them up. Like I said, nightmare is on your mind. But you got two prima donnas out here. It's only one ball. It's only one ball. I think you need a one. I think you need a 1A and a BA. I think you need that on teams.
1A and a 1B?
A 1A and a 1B, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think that you need that. You need that to really have, especially if they both good. Like, for example, I'm going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Devontae Smith can be a number one at a lot of teams he goes to. Do you agree?
I agree, yeah.
Okay. A.J. Brown, we already know he a number one. Dog ham. But in our offense, Devontae Smith is the number two. But he thrives in his role. There is no competitiveness, but we still have the prima donna. A.J. Brown will get mad and get to read Harry Potter books on the sideline and all that, but I got to see if this George Pickett and CeeDee Lamb gels.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
with them sharing the ball, not to cut you off, Tawfiq, with them sharing the ball, with them having to split up the ball with them in the tight end, I think George will get disgruntled if they down and, You know, sometimes you be down in games and you got to fight through it.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that is a great, for me, just watching football and commentating about the sport that me and you do every day. I think that was a magnificent trade for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a shorter version on the Philadelphia Eagle fanatic and fan. I don't care nothing about that they got. They can go add Jamar Chase to it too. He could be they can make CeeDee Lamb the number 1, Chase the number 2, or switch them around. Chase 1, Lamb 2, and pick it in the slot. I don't see none of that when you talk about them Philadelphia Eagles, man. That backfield is extraordinary right now, man. If them kids we drafted come out and be anything near good, not all the way good, reach their potential, but just show you the strides to go with what we got, man, I'm not seeing none of that they doing. None of that, and I stand on that. We see Dallas twice a year. Twice a year, I ain't got no rap. We got them headhunters back there.
No, dude.
Them headhunters. You see that boy we just drafted from Texas? Come on, man. We're not playing safety. We talking about we lost my man C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Replacing newer model, younger. Okay, we got them dogs on the outside. Huh? Y'all ain't forget about that, didn't? San Quentin, they couldn't have forgot about that, did they? I know they ain't forget. I know they ain't forget about my man Hard White on the other side of San Quentin. Yeah, why would y'all ever do that? Come on, now, don't act like we ain't got this backfield. So go ahead and get all the receivers that you want. Now, this is the fanatic Philadelphia Eagle fan speaking, ladies and gentlemen. No offense to anybody that got disgruntled about this admonishment that I'm giving the Cowboys. But as of right now, as the fanatic, I don't care about y'all attitude. Get at us.
But you gotta understand that this is, just look at the dynamic of this trade. This trade is actually really good pickup.
You see what
they may not win in the East, that division, but they're going to be.
I'm still talking as the fanatic.
In the playoffs.
I'm still the fanatic mode. They're not winning that division.
All right, quick, but they will be in the playoffs, and that division will be very competitive with those two receivers over there.
We'll see.
Two receivers, it will be very, very competitive because you look at the aspect of having Dak Prescott, he's not a bad quarterback. He's a very good quarterback.
He's a very good quarterback.
Then you got Lamb, and then you add Pickens to that.
But it take a lot. What's up with that line?
With the offensive line? The offensive line is pretty good.
The offensive, okay, all right. Well,
So I see them.
I still think you need a running back.
They could be number 2 team in that division.
What about Washington? We just forgetting about Washington now.
I understand.
Don't you dare do that.
Washington is good.
Don't you dare do that about the Commanders.
But I'm just saying I'm not saying they will be. They have the.
So you saying that the Cowboys could dethrone Washington because you're saying that the Cowboys will come in second in the division?
Yes, they could. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying they could. They have the talent.
I'm telling you, the Eagles is going to win that division. I ain't saying they could nothing. I'm still speaking as the fanatic. The Eagles is going to punish that division. We don't care about no Pickett going no Dallas Cowboys, which was a great move. Great move when I jump back into the sports announcer. That was that was a dangerous move for a lot of teams, man. If that thing gel and do anything like the fans think it's going to do, Toffee, man, beware.
But now, so you look at this trade. I just want to speak a little bit more about this trade. Jerry Jones did speak about this, saying, "Hey, listen, I got some tricks up my sleeve." Basically saying, "Hi, I have some potential trades on the table, some moves brewing, and this is one of them." And now you bring in this receiver, it shows that he's
a major move.
He's trying to win.
I did not see that coming. Did you see that coming?
No.
I'm talking about if anybody could sit back right now and see that Dallas Cowboys was in the search of another number 1 wide receiver to line up with CeeDee Lamb and get a George Pickett of the caliber player he is and the child that he is. He's still a young man. He's not old, 5-6 years in the league. This is heavy. This is super, super heavy. If me speaking as a sports analyst, Eagles, keep your eye open a little bit now. Don't go playing now.
Yeah, Pickens is going to be.
That was a major move. That was a. You could call that a blockbuster trade.
Yeah. Now, so we go past that. Now we spoke our thoughts on that. So we'll just go into the Philadelphia Eagles just signed Goedert back. They got him back. Paid him. People were thinking the Eagles were going to, get rid of him. And
the Jets was acquiring heavily.
Yeah, so, Goddard's 30 years old, still kind of young.
Yeah.
But so they signed him. So he got a little more than $14 million, a guarantee
how many years?
Per season. So his is a 4-year deal.
Oh, my goodness.
4-year deal.
Back to back. What my man Drake say? Back to back.
So they got him back. Eagles sign, like I said, one thing about Howie brings in these, he finds a way to do it, and then he brings back the core players, Dallas Goedert,
they keep them
running back.
One thing about having great players, right? This is the key to having great, because as we've seen the last couple of years, maybe decade, a team will win the Super Bowl and the team will implode. Meaning players go here. Everybody.
We was kind of concerned. We seen all the Eagles players leaving in the beginning. Let's be honest. You was concerned. We were saying, man, what is Howie doing? But then you say, you know what? I believe in Howie.
I did say that.
But we was a little concerned. Slay left. Gardner.
Slay getting old.
Yeah.
Slay's not a big piece. Like
But
Milton
even
Williams,
yeah.
the offensive line boy. What's his name?
Forget his name.
I wanted to sign him back.
Yeah. So they lost Milton Williams. They lost Josh Sweat. They lost Slay and C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
So they lost those players, but now they bring.
I think they lost Avonte Maddox too.
No, I don't see Maddox here, but but even if they did, they just drafted and got some young players,
studs,
and
man.
they still got more cap space, I believe, than anybody in the NFL.
Yes, like $54 million in cap space.
So they're right there, ready to sign some players, make some moves, and be right back.
And you know how we always do something big in October, right before the trade deadline. That's when we got Saquon Barkley. How we always do something big right before the trade deadline. Teams that got good pieces on their team, like Oakland. Oakland, we know is their building team, but they got intricate pieces.
Yeah.
Crosby. They get to October and see, damn, we already 4 games into losing and all that. We ain't going nowhere. Let's get some trade capital. Howie right there in the cut. You say, Max Crosby is going to the Philadelphia Eagles. You see how, man, come on, man. Don't play with Howie.
Yeah.
Don't play with him.
Yeah, so I agree. I think Howie is we talked about that already, but Howie is probably the best GM in the league.
You keep saying probably.
Yeah,
you gotta put a stamp on it, man.
Difference in
You
opinion.
gotta put a stamp. No. Howie is the best GM in the National Football League as of current. I ain't talking about 5 years ago. I ain't even talking about last year. I'm talking about his resume to today. Howie is the best GM hands down, and every GM in the league will tell you that behind me.
Well, you heard it at first. Now let's talk a little bit about the what does this mean, ultimately for the NFC East. Now we spoke about Washington. Washington they started out the gates moving fast, signing players, making a lot of notable free agent signings, also bringing back their core. Does this NFC East division we get 3 teams?
It has gotten better.
What I'm saying is, do we get 3 teams out of the division to make the playoffs?
It has happened before, but this year, as of now, I don't know. The competition got a little harder. You got Minnesota. Like, it's a lot of competition in the NFC period right now, conference. The Lions, Minnesota, Rams.
I'm speaking about the NFC East. Do we get Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders, all 3 in the playoffs next season?
No, I see 2. It'd be really hard to get 3. It'd be hard for 3 teams to come out of one.
Well, which Cardinals did it?
Like, that don't happen all the time.
Which Cardinals did it? Minnesota, Green Bay, and the Lions. They all made the playoffs.
Okay, yes, but that's not a current thing every year, of 3 teams making the playoffs.
No, I'm saying it's a possibility.
Yes, we see it from time to time, but for the Cowboys, Eagles, and Redskins, it's a possibility, like you just said.
Or it's a possibility that somebody has a winning record and then misses the playoffs.
Yes.
It's a big chance that can happen as well.
It's a heads and tails on that coin. This coin that you're referring to, Tawfiq, is a heads and tails on.
Maybe the NFL,
so you can't be, whether you're yay or nay, you're not wrong either way.
NFL might need to add more teams to the playoffs. I don't know, but this is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens going forward with these teams. So,
man, that might be the best. Now that I'm thinking of these moves, I don't know no division that's strapped up like this.
Even the Giants, they bought it. I mean, you could say Russell Wilson, but he's old. But they did make a move and bring in a quarterback.
And they brought in that dog, Abdul Carter.
Yeah, they did. So we'll see what happens. NFC East, looks like it's going to be very, very interesting. You're picking the Eagles, as am I, to put a stranglehold on that division. More breaking news, we got Shedeur Sanders. We know his draft slide, and he decided that he was going to, take this opportunity to choose number 12 as Tom Brady, who was his idol, and Tom Brady reached out to him and said, hey, listen, man, use this draft slide as motivation. Your thoughts?
That's one of the best motivate. That was an excellent comment from Tom Brady to Shedeur Sanders. Use this. You say you want to rep this 12. You see how I repped it because Brady went very, very late in the draft, and he repped that 12. He brought that 12 to life. There wasn't no 12 before him. Other people had it, but it wasn't known for. You hear the number 12, which in football you think of Tom Brady. You ain't even a football fan, but you know that 12 if you mention football, right?
Yeah.
And Tom told him wear it right. Yeah, they made you slide. It was a message inside of it. It was way more than, making a brand. It was so much in that one statement from Tom Brady to Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
It was so much. He spoke like people just looking at that caption of what he actually said. But what was the meaning in what he said? And then you follow his career. So he gave him a vicious jewel, man.
Yeah.
He buried that jewel. Like if it was me, it would got buried in my heart with what he said to me. So, Shedeur Sanders took that and that should be his fire besides other things that he may have to fuel him, and that's just it.
I think that, I think that he's going to ultimately use that, like you said, as fuel to his fire. I believe that Shedeur Sanders has a lot to prove now because a lot of people, like you said, they counted him out. The draft slide, all these naysayers saying that, they didn't like him because of, whatever reasons, his personality, so forth and so on. But we can't deny this is a talent. And now you have a talent like his that has people in his corner, like, of course, his father, Deion Sanders, and then he has Tom Brady, he's the best quarterback, greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes, he is.
As of right now, there's no other quarterback that we can say that had a better career than Tom Brady. So you have somebody like that in your corner who's you have a number in your cell phone I can call Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? None of the other quarterbacks in the league probably that I can say will probably have that opportunity.
There probably is,
well, that's out in the media of saying that.
Okay.
That has Tom Brady. Tom Brady putting things out in the media about Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Tom ain't done it about nobody else.
No, he ain't.
And
Tom speaking his angle on Shedeur, so it's something there.
Yes.
I mean, he went to see that kid thrive also. But he's telling that kid in order to thrive, you got to use certain things as tools. And he the basic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's motivation. You was disrespected, so now go get it.
And go get it.
That's it.
Exactly. So I expect Shedeur to take that, battery in his back. Now he's going to be out here, because he may start, He's probably going to start in Cleveland this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what I told you. We worried about everybody being there. I'm not tripping. They got to go through training camp. That's the addition.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders, the ball's in his court. If he want to start, go show that boy that you was in Colorado. Go out there and take that starting job. Ain't like he came there week 2 and they already got a quarterback there, but they somehow got him and now he want to wait and learn the playbook. No, you're going, most of their quarterbacks is brand new.
He got the playbook already.
So they all got to learn, all of them learning at the same speed. Let's see you outdo them and get there.
Yeah.
That's it. He in a perfect position to make his brand even bigger than what it probably would have been if he got picked number 3.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see what happens with Shedeur Sanders. Anything else you want to add in regards to that?
No, that's it, man. Shedeur Sanders, man, go out there, man. That man gave you a heavy on the jewel tip. You take that, man, and hold that close to your breast, man. And that's just it.
Yeah, so you heard it here first. It's TBIC, the best in sports entertainment.